Corruption has always been very progressive in Nigeria. The only thing that remains progressive in Nigeria is corruption. Remember that under the regime of Obasanjo, Obasanjo had to make the Inspector General of Police, then Tafa Balogun, retire over unfounded 4 billion naira in his account. We heard of the information that about 212 billion naira was found in the account of Malami. I can tell you something very funny about Nigeria. The only thing that remains progressive in Nigeria is corruption. Now, in one of these days, I will trace the history of corruption in this country from the First Republic, even before the First Republic, prior to independence, under people like Nnamdi Azikiwe, down to the present dispensation that we have today, and you will see how corruption has always been very progressive in Nigeria. And now every other aspect of our national life has always been 2 step or 3 step forward and then 4 backward. Okay, just today, we heard of the information that about 212 billion naira was found in the account of Malami. A man who is supposed to be the head of the judicial system in Nigeria, a civil servant, having 212 billion in his account. You remember that under the regime of Obasanjo, Obasanjo had to make the Inspector General of Police, then Tafa Balogun, retire over unfounded 4 billion naira in his account. Now, times that 4 billion as of today, and then know how much it is. That is that 4 billion naira times how many? Times what? Gives you 212 billion naira. So one might argue that that 4 billion during that era today is an equivalence of that amount. Well, it's arguably, though. But corruption have always been very progressive in Nigeria. That is why most times you see insurgents or insurgency rising up. You see the rise in Yahoo. You see the rise in rituals. But in our national life, how many infrastructure have we built over a period of 24 years? How many schools, how many universities have been equipped marginally in the past 24 years? All right. In fact, how many of our airports in Nigeria can you say meets up to international standard? I mean, when you go to Qatar, you go to Dubai, or you even go to small countries like Ethiopia. But we keep looting our own country dry. Now, if the man in the judiciary is as corrupt as Malami is, allegedly, now what do you expect of the average citizen? It's nothing but justice for sale. Because it's unbelievable that a civil servant who has never had any business, known business, all right, maybe apart from his private legal practice, maybe having 212 billion. Maybe he has won a lot of about 30-something cases in The Hague, and then he must have earned in US dollars, right? This country, I don't understand. But progression is far away. We progress 1 step forward, 10 backward. The EFCC must do a thorough job with Malami, because they've not even told us about the chain of buildings that they found in Abuja, who the real owners are. Because you can't tell me it was just a Mefiele that owns all those buildings. They know the ways they siphon money. They know the way they hide money using other people's, identity and things. The EFCC, we know, is already a toothless bulldog, so as long as I am concerned. All right, it's now a tool for political battles instead of fighting the real corruption. If you want to fight corruption in Nigeria, it's not the Yahoo boys that are destroying the image of this country. Those that are destroying the image of Nigeria are those in the political class. There are a lot of them that has no record of working for even if it's a dry cleaning firm. They've never worked in their life. So many of them just jump out of the university and then they become public analysts. From being essay to somebody, maybe anybody, to being local government chairman or being a councillor in their village. That is the only track record of having worked that a lot of the so-called politicians today have. All right. Yeah.